President Trump, a short time ago, telling Walmart that the company should, I'm quoting now, eat the cost, end quote, of higher tariffs. The comments come after the retail giant said this week that it would raise prices because of Trump's tariffs being too high.
Some breaking news happened just a few moments ago. Walmart now saying it must raise prices to deal with the cost of tariffs.
Just moments ago, the unthinkable happened. Walmart, America's biggest retailer, the place millions turn to for groceries, essentials, and survival, has just confirmed it will shut down 10 key distribution centers and lay off over 50,000 workers. Why? Because of one word: tariffs. Earlier this year, President Trump launched what he called Liberation Day, a massive, sweeping tariff war meant to bring manufacturing back home. On paper, it sounded patriotic, but in practice, it's tearing the supply chain apart. Walmart says it's bleeding money. A staggering $25 billion net loss is now staring down the company. Prices are skyrocketing. And now, the everyday low price banner is quietly coming down. Beef, lettuce, cereal, basic food items now cost up to 40% more overnight. The aisles we used to trust are now thinning out. And while the White House insists it's all part of a long-term plan, Walmart isn't waiting around. They're preparing to leave. An internal memo leaked from Bentonville, Arkansas, titled Project Triage, revealed Walmart is hibernating key distribution hubs in California, Florida, Texas, and more. Each of these facilities supported entire communities, hundreds of trucking companies, thousands of workers, dozens of local suppliers. And now, they're being wiped out. President Trump says America must stop being dependent on foreign countries. He says tariffs are the only way forward. But the truth on the ground is devastating. As containers sit idle and ports choke, Walmart is losing its ability to keep food flowing. From beef and bread to patio furniture and school supplies, everything is stuck in limbo. And here's the scariest part. Walmart isn't just raising prices, they're actively shifting operations out of America. Sources say the company has begun moving contracts from China to Vietnam, India, and Cambodia. And they're pouring over $5 billion into new factories in places like Arkansas and Ohio in a desperate bid to rebuild the supply chain. But insiders warn that won't happen overnight. Before we continue, take a moment to subscribe and hit the bell icon. You need to stay informed, because if this spiral continues, the next thing missing from store shelves might be your family's dinner. As if things couldn't get worse, transportation costs have exploded. Shipping from Asia to the US has nearly doubled, and Walmart's just-in-time model, the very backbone of cheap American retail, is collapsing. Store managers from Florida to Indiana report that entire aisles are sitting empty. Trucks are stuck. Workers are being told not to come in. Rents, utility bills, warehouse costs, all still have to be paid. And now, Walmart says it may abandon parts of the US market altogether if Trump's tariffs escalate again. Labor unions are furious, mayors are panicking, and across social media, a new hashtag is going viral: empty aisles. This isn't just about Walmart, it's about what happens when America's biggest retail artery collapses. The toy factories in Guangdong, the car seat makers in Suzhou, the sewing plant in Florida, all crippled. And what about the families? The 50,000 workers facing unemployment, the truckers with no roots, the mom with 3 kids wondering why milk is now a luxury? They're all paying the price for a trade war that no one seems to understand, and few can afford. Even Wall Street is on edge. Walmart's stock has plunged 11% in 1 month. That's nearly $37 billion wiped out. And the ripple effect? It's hitting FedEx, UPS, trucking firms, even the bond market. America's retail backbone is now the epicenter of a looming financial shockwave. And President Trump? He's furious. Sources inside the West Wing say the president feels betrayed by Walmart, accusing the company of turning its back on America. He's demanded they eat the cost of tariffs. But that's not how global business works, and Walmart knows it. So instead of fighting a losing battle, they're quietly pulling back. From California to Ohio, Arkansas to Florida, 10 massive hubs are going dark, and experts warn more closures are coming. This is no longer a story about profits. It's about survival. Can America afford to keep fighting a tariff war if it means food deserts, job losses, and retail collapse? Or will this be the moment we realize that even a superpower can starve from within? The road ahead is uncertain, and the cost of pride may be more than any of us can afford. This is the beginning of the Walmart withdrawal and the next chapter of the American supply chain crisis. And as we look ahead, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. America is not ready. Not for empty shelves, not for 145% tariffs, and certainly not for the collapse of the very store millions depend on to put food on the table. If Walmart, with all its power, money, and influence, can't survive this tariff war without retreating, what hope do small businesses, truck drivers, or single mothers have? This isn't just about trade policy anymore. It's about who we become when the basics disappear. Subscribe to TrumpWire now and stay prepared.